have a certain number of hours in a day. We all have a certain number of days in a month and months in a year. We all have a finite amount of time on this planet, and it is up to us to decide how exactly we're going to use it. Now, how exactly we manage our time is based on our own thing. Whether it's doing hard in a particular school subject, learning a new skill, learning a new musical instrument, playing sports, starting a new workout plan, all of these are our own thing. And we devote our time and all our efforts in order to achieve that thing. And over the course of your whole life, you're going to juggle a ton of different things. You're going to try to juggle all sorts of different hobbies, and it's important to try to improve your time management in order to spend as much time as possible for the things you are motivated in, as well as be efficient and work really hard in those things. And so for me personally, this past grade 11 year, I've really balanced two main hobbies. That's number one, the full IB program, which I know many of you guys are in here today, as well as B, running pretty much year round. And so I'll do the cross-country season, indoor track, outdoor track, all of those. I'll train. I'll run pretty much every day with a club, as well as I'll do school trips. And it's important for me to balance my time really well in order to do what I need to do well in school, and as well as to excel in track, and to be able to balance all of these things, as I'm sure you guys have experienced before. So my first point, so these are 2 days of my potential grade 11 year. So on the left, you can see day 1, which is my potential less busy day, in which I don't have a ton of stuff to do. And on day 2, I have a potentially more busy day. And from 8:25 to 2:49, you can see that it's pretty similar. There's walk or bike to school, then I'll spend my time at school through all 4 periods. Now, I'm looking for a bit of audience participation here. So on the count of 3, if you guys could yell IB moment. So on day 2, from 3 to 4:15, I have a period 5 course, 75 more minutes of IB material, which sure sounds like an
IB moment!
Very good, that's exactly what I hoped. And then on top of that, I'll also have a 2-hour track practice. And this is 2 hours of running plus, LRTing or biking or whatever I have to do. Now, just comparing these 2 days in terms of the time I have to eat, to spend time with friends, to work on homework, to study, to just chill out. You can see that day 1, I probably have 3, maybe even 3.5 more hours to do whatever I want compared to day 2. But what I've really found is the fact that more time does not necessarily correlate to more success. And what I mean by that is, when I go home at 3 o'clock on day 1, I have a decent number of things to do, a fair number of assignments to get to, tests to study for. But because of the fact that I have so many hours to complete all this, this drastically reduces my productivity. And I'm sure you guys have seen this in terms of your own procrastination. Is going home, you see the stuff you have to do, and you know that you're going to do them, but you have a ton of hours in the day, so you go on your phone for 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, and then you feel bad about yourself, and then, your friends are going out, so might as well go out, and that is really how our productivity goes to a halt. But on the other hand, in terms of day 2, compared to day 1 and 2, I'll have the same amount of work to do, the same amount of hours that I need to contribute to school. However, on day 2, I will work a lot more efficiently simply because I have to. I have less time to do all the work that I need to, and so I just will. I will respond to the deadlines and the timelines that are presented. And I think hopefully this is pretty applicable to your own life, and I'll give you a hypothetical situation. Well, let's say your English teacher is giving you an essay, and in scenario 1, your English teacher gives you a week to finish the essay. Now, in response to that, you're going to adapt your schedule, you're going to move things around so that you can finish in a week. You're going to do everything in your power to complete it in a week. But let's say that same English teacher gives you instead a month to complete. Well, now the hours and the effort that are required to complete the essay are now going to be stretched over the course of an entire month. And when it's stretched like that, it's a whole lot more time to procrastinate and a lot more time to take things easier rather than and simply not work as hard. And so my first point is procrastinators work harder. Wow, we love procrastination. So obviously procrastination is not a healthy habit. It's not a good thing to procrastinate. But I think there is something to learn from our procrastinating friends or our procrastinating selves, where I'm sure we have all had those moments of ourselves or our friends where we have that social essay due the night tomorrow and we only have the night of to work on it. We only start studying for the test the morning of kind of thing. And while those practices are extremely unhealthy, the time of procrastination, in those moments, you work hard simply because you have to. You have to finish the essay overnight, so you do. You have to learn the entire physics unit in one night, so you do. And this is because procrastinators, they're forced to work in shorter time frames, and they're also used to having a time limit. And so, despite the methods in terms of imposing deadlines and time limits are unhealthy, they are able to finish the work, and they know they will do the work eventually. And so procrastinators are able to achieve efficiency, where they're simply able to work harder, but it comes at the cost of consistency. And so, at the end of the day, we can't be procrastinators, but we can learn from procrastination in terms of finding the right balance. And I think the hypothetical, perfect working individual would be able to work as hard as a procrastinator, so being able to put in 100% effort and being able to do that consistently over long periods of time. And that's like the, I guess, ideal, IB student, if you want to call it that. Now, while you are balancing between working as hard as a procrastinator as well as working consistently, it's important to never all in on a single part of your life. Humans are not designed to work 24/7 for the entire year, although our culture may tell us that, but rather it's important to balance it out. Humans need rest in order to be productive later. You need to balance and still go out with your friends, still have fun in the hobbies you do enjoy, and balancing that with the rest of your life. And so, the main application I would give you guys is to push yourselves to have your own timelines and goals. I think the most productive I've been is when I go home from a long day of school and a hard track practice, but still having a ton of work to do and needing to do it in a certain amount of time. And in the past, I've had to study for a test really hard, or had to finish up on an essay so that I can relax and see the Oilers game later. Or I can, I can work harder on the project that's due before I go rock climbing with my friends later. And it's these sort of deadlines these deadlines are the things that allow ourselves to work at our times. Now, at the end of the day, time management, in order to improve at something and in order to do the best at something, it really assumes that you have motivation to do it, because motivation is the root for all improvement, and it's the root for all hard work. And at the end of the day, the reason why I think I was able to be in the full IB program, as well as doing track and other volunteer opportunities, etc., is because I'm motivated. I think I really enjoy my IB subjects. I enjoy running year-round, and that is why I am able to accomplish all of these things at once. Now, sort of flipping the switch a little bit, well, trying to improve is always important. It's always good to have a mindset of always trying to find the next step in terms of your level. However, it's always very dangerous to chase the last percent, is what I call it. It's very dangerous to always beat yourself up at getting 99, 95% rather than that perfect 100. It's always easy to get mad at that 0.5 off, but in reality, that's not the right mindset to have. A lot of the times, in my own cross-country runs or shorter runs, it's very easy after each and every run to say, man, I could have gone out a little bit faster. I could have held that pace for a little bit longer, or kicked at the end a little bit faster. But in reality, that's always going to be the case. You're always going to be able to improve. And you're always going to have these self-deprecating thoughts saying, hey, I could do better, I could do better. And while these self-deprecating thoughts come from a mindset of wanting to improve, the reality of it is that these self-deprecating thoughts are not beneficial towards your performance. And so, at the end of the day, it's all about continuous improvement. It's all about being better and better each day, but working more consistently each and every day, as well as working harder and more efficiently each and every day. And it's important to challenge yourself to be the best that you can be, while also being healthfully okay with backwards improvement. Because at the end of the day, you can be really happy with your TED Talk, you can be really happy, you're excited to wear an Oilers jersey for your TED Talk, but then they lose in Game 6. Thank you.